I don't have network, so I can't find my stories. Hi. Hello. Hello, hi, dis me, dis I. Small town Didi, your hiding these your internet. Nakastracha, I'm back. Hello, yeah, la. Um, Here's what we deal with, like, as real povos. There are a lot of posers online. Oh my god, my mic is so far. Not you posers online. There's this particular lady on TikTok. I would enjoy her content if she wasn't constantly trying to act like she doesn't have money. Like, you have money, babe. It's okay. It's all right. Being a rich auntie is all the rage. Us real poor people are experiencing something, colonialism of a special kind. But just call it apartheid. Like, here's the thing: we're experiencing a load shedding of a special kind. They calling it reduction. It's not even different. It's nothing about it is different. It's the same amount of hours. It's everything, but they gave it a fresh name and they're saying it's for us people who aren't buying electricity for the while, like for a while, months really. Um, Another part of where I live was experiencing this, and my section wasn't. A large part of my area wasn't. And as of this week, all of a sudden we're on reduction. So it affects the network. I can't access my stories. But what I do remember is that we're still looking for the shoes. We're still very much looking for the shoes. That George, guys, I like to, like, for us to, like, see what we can learn from a situation. We're working on not shaming people for finding themselves in these situations, because you know what, it's becoming a little bit crazy how on guard we are expecting women to be in situations where they're otherwise told that this is where you go to be safe. Yes, contrary to, like, experience, this shit happens in marriage. Like, women get done in. But can you imagine, you're like raising kids, you're going to work, you're coming, and then you must also be a ninja in your relationship, be on guard, be making sure that monies aren't being spent wherever. There's only so many hours in the day, and women in these, like, unions are overworked, overstimulated, overwhelmed as it is. So we're working really hard over here to approach things with a softness, but not um in a way that, like, we must take our lessons and go. We don't need to, like, take that mistake and, like, beat that woman over the head with the mistake. Just take our lessons and go. But let's have a look at this, and then we'll come back and have a chat.
So I found this receipt in my husband's car for 18,300, and it's women's shoes. George, where's the shoe? I don't have the shoe. I don't have the shoe. Where's the shoe? Ignoring me as usual. Where is the shoe? I don't have the shoe.
Guys, I can't even ask Google what's the average South African wage, because I don't have network, because load reduction. And my lights are gonna go off again in 30 minutes. Like, they go off at 3 to 5, and then I have lights for 2 hours, and then they go off from 7 to 9. Like, 2 hours to do God knows what. I guess cook. I don't know. But I have 30 minutes. It's 6:30, and I gotta get this out to you guys. Um, and I'm struggling because, here we go. The average South African wage and salary. I guess it's not the same thing. Hopefully they let me know, but I know, like, most, like, shop assistants, like people who work retail, these aren't the numbers that they're looking at or, like, talking about. You understand? So 18,000 rands is still quite a bit of money. I'm one of those people who exist in a reality where 18,000 rands is still quite a lot of money. Like, it just is for me. I'm sorry for being poor, but to think you are doing all of this we, right? Like you're planning their financial goals. It's a we project. It's all of this. I do believe in maintaining a sense of autonomy around your finances, even in partnership, even in marriage. Like have those karma for the everybody. But you live with somebody that long, I can see and I can understand how you get relaxed. It's just easier to have your finances co-mingling and stuff, especially when you're earning well, yes, but you're not the kind of moneyed where other people are managing your money for you, so they do the thinking and the hard work for you. You would actively have to be like, your husband's going to the store, so you don't give him the card, and it's like, no, use the account with both the family account or whatever the issue is. But it's like, as somebody who grew up in a two-parent household, like it's not a thing, you guys. Like it's not gonna work. But in this instance, I'm guessing if you are only seeing the receipt, I'm guessing they don't have like a mutual account, because she would have seen the transaction, right? But she didn't. She was doing whatever she was doing in his car or going through it, because at this point there's a trust deficit going on or whatever. She finds this receipt, and now she's confronting this man who's just looking at her like, 18 motherfucking thousand rands. Imagine there's like kids in the relationship. Oh, there's no kids. There's just us. That's 18,000 rands towards our vacation. That's 18,000 rands towards our mortgage or our rent. That's 18,000 rands towards like, and it's 18 point something, by the way. But so much can be done with that money in terms of a we thing, that it's like, the conversations of the old women telling us to have a little stash aside, hide money from this person, right? Don't be all the way transparent about how much you really earn, all the little extras that come in through the sides, because he will make sure you spend it. He will make sure you spend that money while he's taking the money from the household and spending it on Woodidi out there at Groove. And they like to swipe your husband's birthday impress there at Groove with silly little things like alcohol. With your children's school fees, we know the stories, right? Gambling away, maybe there's an addiction underlying there. We can deal with that, I suppose, but not really. But they like to. They get carried away and give a money and stuff. 18,000 rands for shoes. But that lets me know how poor I am and how much game some girls got, or whomever. Darling. Okay? No shaming here. We don't actually know who he bought the shoes for. The wife says that the slip has since gone missing. Listen, the country has their detective hat on. We're investigating and we're trying to get to the bottom of this. I don't know when that hand is going to get to wear that shoe, honey, because everybody and their mama is on the lookout for that shoe. This is the one time you wish there were dupes all over the place of that shoe, or just like fakes. The belt. You remember the Louis V belt and the Gucci belt? It's the one time you wish that was the situation, so you could wear your shoes in peace, because everybody's wearing them. Yeah, but only you know that you've got. And it's like also this obsession with like so-called luxury brands. I feel like there's so much um access. I'm struggling today. I feel like we got to peek behind the curtain enough at this point for us to understand that it's all marketing to a degree, and all of this talk around quality isn't always what it's said to be. A lot of the times you're just paying for the name. There's too much content around it online for us to understand how much really goes into putting together the shoe, and then the exorbitant amount that they want to come and sell it to us for. And because we have things we need to work through, we believe we can purchase our esteem, by purchasing these things that don't mean what we think they mean. Like the entire thing, like that's a lot of money for some shoes, as if they're not gonna get dirty. Like, or I don't know, what do they do? Massage you as you. I don't get it. I don't get luxury brands, but like, keep your money separate, ladies, and no pressure, but keep some aside for yourself. Never be transparent about what it is that's really going on. You never have money. He's asking you, never have it. Ever. You never have it. When you want to do something for him once in a while, you do it and you act like you had to save 3 months for it, and you act like it's the last money that you have. It's all the money you've ever had. Oh my God, you do that. Because I'm not saying don't gift your significant other or don't spend on them from time to time, but act like it's like denting your pocket beyond belief. Okay, because the moment he learns that you're capable, and I'm telling you this because I know, then he treats you as such. The moment a man knows, then he will treat you as such. You will be paying for everything. He will never spoil you. You will walk around all of earth thinking he's this like conservative person around money, and he's not a splurger. He's my microphone's dead. I'm about to lose light, so I just need to finish the video. But I was talking about your husbands. Don't ever let them know what you really got going on, because the moment he thinks that you have this and you have this kind of money and you can do this, understand that when he turns into Mr. I don't really do that, I'm not really romantic, I don't spend money, like he is that. He's just doing it with somebody else whom he thinks will be more impressed by the spend. Versus when you have money, they don't think you will be as impressed. Also careful, like when you're married to the good guy who's a loser, when that midlife starts to hit and you guys grew together, right? You made the money together, you're now successful together, you know, the Mercedes-Benz car keys, we saw those and stuff, and all of that stuff is happening. His ego will still want to be like, can I be in the streets? And they make the calculation, right? You're tired, you have kids now, you're invested in this life. Starting over is rather daunting, it's taxing, it just feels like this mammoth task. So the chances of you really leaving, they work that in, and then they start this rubbish. But for her to then say, as usual, just leads me to believe that, you know, this is what they are, this is who they are, this is what they be. You understand? I also looked at her, average looking woman, average presenting, in that she doesn't seem like the type to, she's not giving off slay queen in these clips and when you see her on her page, right? In where we see her, I'm not saying anything about her outside of that. And the kind of girl that wants to go to the Gucci store and purchase shoes worth that much. By the way, the girls like to return items behind your back. They'll make you purchase a high-end item, buy a knockoff in case you want to see them in it, or not even bother to do all of that because they know they're about to break up with you because you're a loser. They got the one item they wanted out of you. Baba fully said it in a gabon. Baba by the water and stuff. By Edindo. Chamavon. You know, like that's what the girls are doing, and you know, that's the hustle. I can respect that. Like if you're gonna be a cheater like George, you're like, take your like lessons here as well. You can't get sloppy, you can't get lazy, right? Obviously these two people have their own vehicles. We saw the 2 car keys again, so he probably was just like, oh, she's never in my car like that, and then he got lazy and left the slip just lying around or whatever the issue was. Then she found it. You can't get lazy. It's a job. It's a full-time job. You are being a deceitful little fucking demon, like 24/7. There's no off. You're on. You're constantly, the gig is permanent once you start, you know? So you can't get lazy. Those of you who want to venture that way, that's your lesson to take here. Because, you know, man, fumbled. Like, low-key, George really did fucking fumble. But next topic, Tyler killed it. Tyler is a superstar. Tyler is everything they keep wanting her not to be. We can get into the colorism of stuff and all of that, because I'm looking at her and everything she's giving, I know Normani can give and Normani has given. But we are where we are, and I really wish the world was as receptive, because the vocals are there with the other girls as well and stuff. We can't run away from the fact that her ambiguous kind of look helps her a great deal. Her petiteness, our obsession with small women, and you know, all of that stuff that we've decided is like womanly. Like, this is the most womanly you can be, being tiny and cute and dainty looking and all Beauty and the Beast, and he can snap you in half and all of that stuff that like make an otherwise like weaker sex feel powerful, all of that stuff is part of why this thing is working out for her. Not to take away from her hard work, her talent, and all of that. It's given very much Beyonce. Beyonce is still Beyonce, but also, you know, the look of her helped to be Beyonce. Like, for them to propel her and push her to the front and everything. But outside of the politics of all of that, I am very, very proud of her, keeping her chin up constantly, showing up and doing her job, proving that she's where she is because that's where the fuck she belongs. I love it. I absolutely love it for her. Winning. Now the Victoria's Secret show, those of you who don't know what I'm talking about the Victoria's Secret show, okay? It came back, it was on break for like, because you know the brand was like bankrupt and all of that. I think they've partnered with Amazon, I think. Amazon, I think the streaming thing, Amazon Prime, I think it's called, whatever. But they've partnered with them. And Amazon was like, baby, we're just going to lend you our name. We're not giving you any coin. Because ain't no fucking way. The show was whack. And the like fatphobic people online are trying to make this about something it's not, because the resurgence of that 2000 ED culture, if you are a big girl, you feel it more than anybody else, especially if you lived through it the first time around. Even in the fashion, some of you look, I mean, I'm online, I see the little sort of Y2K fits that people, I'm like, this shit is ugly. This shit is just fucking, the micro minis, ugly. I wish drop waists would go the fuck away. Those aren't even 2000, but I wish drop waists would go the fuck away. Ugly. Ugly. None of it looks good. These fits that you guys are putting together thinking like you're doing something. And this is not even an issue of like taste or an issue of like, oh, no. It's just ugly. Great. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. If you lived through that fashion that was explicitly saying you can't wear me if you're not skinny. It's not saying anything else outside of that. It's communicating skinny. Always like enhancing, like a body checking outfit in itself. Like always enhancing a collarbone, a fucking bone here. Is this bone protruding? Do I look like I'm dying? You know, that type of fashion. If it has to exclude to that degree, I mean, is it popping really, or is it just exclusive, right? Like you get to be part of the special club of people who won the genetic lottery or people who are able to develop an ED. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, the Victoria's Secret show was back. It was on and ugly. Okay, and they try to blame the fat women. Everybody's online saying, oh, this is what happened. You know, people who are so interested in guarding like structures of othering fascinate me, especially when they don't fit those standards that have been set there. They too would not get to participate. I don't know if you think you're appealing to the people who get to participate, so then they'll let you in from like cool points, like, oh, she understands so she can come in. No, bitch, you're staying outside the club with me, so I don't know why you're doing this. Like, I don't get it. It's given Stockholm. Like, I don't get why you're doing any of this. Okay, then they're obviously the people who like work really hard to stay skinny and they feel like it's not fair, you know. Ashley Graham by no means is a non-conventionally attractive woman. She's straight size. From what I understand, the average American woman is sized like her. When you look up, I think they're size 16 there by them. And the numbers are given 16, 14, the articles that I've come across about the average American. So for her to be classed as like plus size and like be this thing of like, oh wow, like it's such a thing that she's getting to walk. How is it that? Like, if that's the reception of people saying, oh my god, now that they have these fatsos and then they have the transgender women on here, they've like betrayed their entire ethos and that's why it's not landing. And I think it was on purpose. Like, to a degree, I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay. They're creating a situation where they want to go back to the original branding because, the market is ripe for it now with the resurgence of all the ED, Tumblr culture and all of that shit. Like, they can feel that it's in the air, and they're like, if we give them one bad show with all of this, like, inclusivity shit that they've been preaching when body positivity was profitable 3 years ago, however many years ago, if we give them that and then we take away stuff and it doesn't land, we have a good excuse to go back to our original model of how we're doing things, and we say we're just giving the people what they want, right? Because why wasn't there glitter? Why wasn't there fucking glitter on the motherfucking runway? Where was the glitter? Listen, I grew up on this ED shit. Do you understand? I felt bad about being fat my whole life. I was the girl on fashion TV watching these women and feeling like, oh my god. Obviously, you grow up and you realize, oh, these bitches get done in just the same. Oh, okay, you look pretty though, girl. But like growing up, it's like you look at them and then you find your place in life. You understand why you're not deserving of nice things, right? And it's like I don't know. You know how I tell you guys all the time that I've curated my social media to feed me images of people who look like me? Because I can't do that shit anymore. I used to do the opposite. Can you imagine through my teen years as a big teenage girl? This is what I was consuming as the standard of beauty, fully knowing and fully understanding that I can never attain this. And apparently that is why we were tuning in, right? But the truth of the matter is the women walking the stages can't attain it or keep hold of it either. We've had stories of women come out who've participated in these shows over the years telling us of the EDs that they developed, like walking these runways and these coveted wings and stuff. And we want to gloss over that. We quickly want to just tuck it away and be like, if you can't hang, girl, let Candace will show you how to do it or whatever. But it's like the show was whack because they meant for the show to be whack. Tyler was the only thing that mattered. You're hype Gigi a little too much. It's never that fucking serious. Gigi just does not. You guys want to have the supermodels of yesteryear. You don't have them. I am a Real Housewife historian. I saw how they became supermodels, right? I've said this to you guys as well because I watched Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I saw how her and Bella happened, how their mother like groomed them into these like now things and the nipperness of it all and everything, and they have this wealthy father and stuff. They always had a leg up and they're pretty girls, but Bella went and got surgical assistants to look that pretty allegedly. But if you look at the pictures, girl, but allegedly. But all of that, and it's like they never had the hunger. They never had the hunger, so they can't walk like they were ever hungry. And for you guys to act like she's got this fierce walk and everybody's like, oh my god. Oh, I feel like Kendall Swanepoel on that stage, her and Tyler being the S, like when Kendall's body is sick. Sickening. Bitch. I'm like, that's why I don't have nice things. I get it now. I get it. Thanks, Candace. But you understand? Donkey. But I get it now. But I saw Bella. The wings were off center. They were big. They were over. That would not happen with Tara. That would not happen with Heidi. That would not happen with, what is this girl's name who I'm obsessed with? They put her in a high pony. I forget her name. And she was like the girl. After the OGs left, she carried that brand for a while. What's her name, man? Brazilian girl. Blue eyes. Just gorgeous. Like beyond belief. Kind of gorgeous. They had that girl. Everybody's online asking where were the blowouts. We're watching for the wings. The wings look like I went to P&A with my niece because they had this project real quick. Bella was the only one with wings that made it, and Tyler. Right? these butterflies that they're making now for party decor. Like, baby, that's what they had the girls in. I was like, y'all don't come back like this. But I know what you're trying to do. You're coming back like this so we complain so you can give us more of the same, like I just said. But the show was whack because they didn't put in the work to make it such that it wasn't whack. Even the stage, like the set design. Have you seen the old set designs? Have you seen the old wings, the bras, the actual $1 million bra with the stones and stuff, where they're like, somebody's wearing $1 million bra? Candace opened the 2018 show. I forgot what, but she's the $1 million bra. Jen, they didn't have the $1 million bra. I'm fucking tired of talking about this. They sabotaged the show so they could say the fat bitches can't come next year, okay? That's what the fuck happened, and we move. Safaree and Erica. I got energy for this. Truly, I'm gonna spend 2 minutes on this. These people are the same person. If you've watched Love and Hip Hop, any of them, and you've seen them either on New York or when he was in LA, either one of them, if you've seen either of these franchises that they were on, Erica Mena just called Spice a monkey. And this same bitch was scaling walls like what? A monkey. Yelling at the top of her lungs like what? A fucking banshee. Okay? And that's how I feel, right? The only people I feel bad for here are the kids. Erica was looking a stick mess at one of these reunions. She's wearing all white. She had like a really dark tan on her. And everybody was like, oh my God. I remember saying then on my TikTok that I don't feel bad for that bitch. She's one of the ones who thought that it was going to work out differently for her. Her experience wouldn't be the average black girl's experience, you know. She had the opportunity because at some point she had shimmied up to the Kardashians. I believe she worked for Dash, that fashion store that they had years ago for the show or whatever. She had the opportunity to carve her career such that she may end up being a Lala Anthony, right? But she chose the rappers think I'm so hot route. And I'm a feisty Latina and I'm going to like be rah-rah and get like crazy with everybody because I know they'll put it past, like they'll have to forget it. People say I'm beautiful. They're going to have to excuse the behavior. I don't look like ice. I can do this. I can scale walls in the middle. I can bring a ladder from God knows where, right? And be a little like creepy crawly type of creature up and down a wall, incy weensy, and then go bang on doors and stuff. Like she in her mind, she knew that she could get away with this behavior. And her and Safaree are the same person. They're not different. They even have the same teeth, so you know I'm not lying. So I don't feel bad for her. But this woman is breaking stuff and her children are walking barefoot. Like they're walking behind her. And she's broken stuff in that house that Safaree's renting. And it's a mess. It's a mess everywhere. And I'm just like, what can you do? She's so angry. And she will never get over it because she genuinely did believe. Like she bought into the hype of I'm pretty. That's happening to those ugly bitches. Like if they weren't ugly, it wouldn't happen to them. But because they are, oh wow. She really, like her brain cannot process. She cannot begin to understand how she ended up in the situation that she's in right now. And that's how you know Nicki Minaj is a fucking clown. Look who she went from that to where she is now. I'm telling you, anybody who like is 10 toes down for that lady, I'm worried for you. I am worried for you. Okay? Clown, that's who she used to fuck with. Can you imagine? For years and years. Okay? And now she's with like a fucking jailbird. What an upgrade. God damn. Anyway, bye yella.